Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Raj's Garage. Now, we are back in Slough at Autobody Technic. If you've been following the channel, you will know that my E30 M3 Convertible has been here for a few months having a bare metal repaint. Not what I wanted. I didn't want to spend all that money on it, but when Bob stripped it back, he realized I needed to go bare metal. So the car's nearly finished. I've been speaking to Bob over the last couple of weeks. He's a few days away from putting it back together. It still needs a little bit of love from us at CAS HQ. So I'm going to show you the car and I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do when it's back at CAS HQ. And then towards the end of this episode, we are going for a drive. So here she is, and under these lights, I've got to say the car looks impressive. Bob?
Hey Raj.
Well done.
Thank you.
I've got to say, mate, you guys have smashed it here. It just looks gleaming. It literally is, and I know that you probably haven't even finished with it yet. You still got to do a few bits, is that right?
There's still one or two bits to do, a final detail, final polish, just go over it once more. But in essence, that's what it's going to look like.
I know we're missing the badges. Obviously, those have got to go back on. Car still needs a clean on the inside. We've got the interior back at CAS HQ. We've bought the driver's seat. So when we get it back over to CAS, we're going to have to give the car another clean on the inside, get the interior back in, get it for an MOT and so on. But wow, what a difference. When we came last time, I think more or less all the panels bar the front bumper, the rear bumper hadn't been painted. I think the bonnet and the wings were all done from memory, is that correct?
Yeah, so I think from the last time we saw, like you say, most of the car had been resprayed. And then after that, it was just, like you say, a couple of little bits that needed painting and then just slowly building her all back up.
And any perishables that you've had to replace, any of the rubbers or the seals?
Yeah, generally everything was pretty much reused. Wiper seals needed replacing. Few clips, one door molding, the one that goes across the top there, literally was just little perishables. We didn't need to start going into sort of side skirts or anything like that.
Thing is, you're used to working on classic cars, so you know
Yeah.
the pitfalls and the perils when you start taking these apart. So it's nothing new to you here, including the team, obviously. With regards to money and cost, I know you're looking after me on this build and I appreciate that. If somebody bought you a car which was similar to what we have here, and I know there are a couple of areas that you had to treat, roughly what would you charge bare metal respray?
Roughly for something like this in bare metal minus a roof, bear in mind we're not doing a roof, you're probably going to start at around about 12 to 14k for a bare metal respray. From there, then it's just a case of what we find underneath, which is then charged out per the hour. That's a separate discussion once it's paint stripped and we know exactly what we're looking at, and then it's then we'll re-quote from there. But we do have to bear that in mind when it's coming down to a full bare metal restoration. We don't have X-ray vision to actually see what's going on underneath.
And that's the thing here, you don't know until you take a panel apart what it's like underneath. That's if the panel does come off.
If someone's been at it before we have and they've just gone and bonded a load of glue behind it, and there we are trying to cut that out and bend it and it doesn't want to come off, that's a different story then.
And obviously a lot of these cars have, you know, they might have been accident damage or had a little prang and then you've got filler on the car. Last thing you want is if you're bare metal in a car to have filler. So that will all add up because it's man-hours at the end of the day. So that gives you a rough idea. Take into account, not every car is the same. So don't take that figure of 12 to 14k as gospel. It's just a rough figure, but it gives you an idea of what it costs. If someone's quoting you £4,000 or £5,000 for a bare metal repaint, good luck, because it's not going to happen. Bob's details, as I've said to you before, they're on the screen now and they'll be in the description below. Make sure you give them a follow. If you're after a quote, just email them or give them a call direct. Please don't ask me, I'm not a painter. But look, mate, appreciate that. Thank you very much. You've done a fantastic job. I'm excited to get it back and start driving it. There's still a couple of months of hopefully sunny weather left, so I'll be able to use it.
Definitely.
There we go, guys. got to say, it is so great to be back in the E30 M3 Convertible. It's been months since I've driven this car, and to have it back looking fresh, better than the day it left the factory, is a great feeling. Even though today it's a little bit overcast, the Macau blue paint still pops, and it's a night and day difference between dropping the car to Bob, and I've got to say the car did look okay, and to most people be like, why do you need to repaint it? But as Bob has told you the story of all the issues that he found underneath the paint, bit of rust issues, but obviously some filler, some poor remedial repair work. And, you know, it's a 30-year-old car. What he's done has totally transformed this car. These are no longer cars that are £10,000, £15,000. These are desirable and collectible classics, and they deserve this kind of love and TLC. I realized when I got the car back that I needed some badges, so I've got some fresh badges, the BMW Rondel on the back and the new M3 badge, although I forgot to order the one for the front grille, so I need to get a new one of those. So it really finishes the car off. Looks like a proper M3 as well, with those wide boxy square arches. So just a reminder, this is a proper genuine E30 M3 convertible. There are only 786 of these made by BMW for the European market. These cars never went to the USA. Some were exported to the US after the 25-year rule, and there's some that have obviously gone into South Africa and so on and so on. I think Macau blue is definitely the best color for these cars, I've got to say that. Bob has done a fantastic job. His details, again, they're on the screen and in the description below. Yes, it has cost me more than I wanted to pay for the repaint. I'd factored in less than £10,000, but obviously because of the additional work, it has cost me a little bit more. If you're after a quote, just DM Autobody Technic on Instagram, or drop them an email, or give them a call, or pop down. Obviously they're going to need to see the car anyway. That's very important when it comes to a classic. So next up for this car, the paint's sorted, the engine's running really well, although I have noticed there is a small oil leak, and I think that's because I've not driven the car. Next up is the roof. Now, in the video, the roof looks great, but it's the original roof, so it's over 30 years old. There's wear and tear. Some of the tension straps are no longer doing their job. So although this is a electronic hood, and we have managed to source new motors, the hood mechanism doesn't work that well because the straps don't tension and don't pull the hood back correctly. So we're going to get a new hood. I've been given details of 3 guys that can replace the hood, so that'll be next up for this car. And then we're going to do a suspension refresh. Now, you might have seen while I'm driving this car, there is a bit of steering wheel judder, and I think that's a combination of suspension and tires. Plenty of tread on the tires, but they're 7 years old. I'm going to need new tires. Look, even though the suspension's tired, you still can throw this car around. I was thinking of getting a new set of wheels, but actually these 17-inch original BBS wheels do fit this car very well, but they need refurbishing, so they will also get refurbished. So the wheels will look mint and have fresh rubber. Then we'll do a suspension upgrade, either KW or Bilstein. And then finally, what we do here at Car Security, audio and security. This car has no alarm. Because I knew the car would be parked up for a little while, what I didn't want to do is have an alarm which then kills the battery and then keep the car on trickle charge and so on. So we'll add a Clifford alarm. We'll do a complete audio upgrade, new stereo, something retro. I think maybe the new Pioneer retro stereo would look great in this car, and a complete speaker upgrade, and add a sub as well, and a new electric aerial. And I think then this car's finished. We've already done a lot of engine work a few years ago. The interior was refreshed last year by my namesake Raj Singh. He's done a fantastic job, and he's already done 2 or 3 other cars for me, and I know a lot of you have also reached out to him as well. He is a great guy. He knows what he's doing. I think once everything's done, I just need to drive this car. So I think the biggest part was the paint. That's done. So probably a couple more episodes on this. And as you know, this is just one of my projects on the go. The 355, I've put 300, 400 miles on that car since it came back from exotic and supercar. They did a fantastic job with all the maintenance, engine maintenance and so on. That car's now gone back to them just to ensure that everything is nice and tight, no oil leaks, everything is good. A couple of issues I had, nothing they've done. The handbrake, I think the handbrake shoe is a little bit sticky. And I know the suspension is tight on the 355, but I've been told maybe the actuators need changing, which sits on top of the struts in the rear. So they're gonna have a look at that. And then the Ferrari is going to have suspension, wheels, audio, you know, that kind of stuff. I know some of you are following me for the BMW content, some of you are following me for the Ferrari content, some of you are following me for the Porsche content. I've got to thank all of you that sent me those messages on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram for my Halo car purchase, the Porsche 991 GT2 RS, and somehow everything aligned and I managed to buy that car. Now let's get back to CAS HQ. And I'm going to show you a sneak preview of the next car that's going to feature on this channel. And it's a car that I purchased 5 months ago. Let's get back to CAS HQ. So there we have it. Doesn't she look pretty? Bob has done a fantastic job on the paintwork. As I said, next up, we need to refresh this very tired 30-year-old roof. Now, the new car, or should I say the new old car, the barn find, garage find, well, there it is. Now, some of you have come very close in your guesses. I think I showed that maybe when I had picked up the 355. So what car do you think is under the cover? And I've got to say, it's insane. It's one hell of a car. I don't know how I've managed to keep myself away from the socials and not post a picture of that car, considering it's been sitting there for 5 months under that cover. Just a reminder, it's a 1980s car. It's not the oldest car in my fleet, because the oldest car is that Series 1 RS Turbo over there. And it's a limited production run car. Very special. So the day after this video drops, we are going to start filming that iconic car. So in 2 weeks time, that's the 24th of October, that video will drop, and it's going to be a series of videos because that car needs a lot of love. So most importantly, guys, smash that subscribe button now so you get a notification when the next video drops, because it's going to be insane. Again, thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. I do answer all the comments myself. Appreciate all the love you guys have been giving me over the last few weeks and over some of the recent episodes. Just keep liking, commenting, and make sure you're a subscriber, because that's going to be epic.